especially with proposed mitigations, which is cautionary. And I believe and we believe that this is fully supportable on the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes the rebuttals from both the appellant and the applicant. And we'll go to staff now for any additional or closing remarks. Okay. Remand this back to the board for questions of the staff, of the applicant, of the appellant, and or discussion brought up by public comment. Okay. I know where I'm looking and I don't see anybody. So I'll close the public hearing at this time and bring this matter back to the board for action. Supervisor?
Mr. Chairman, I should follow up in support of alternative energy systems. I've lived with alternative energy systems for 35 years in this county. Probably the longest users of standalone alternative solar systems with regard to water and with regard to generation of electricity. I see technical problems here with the data that's been provided that could be clarified and move forward. But I am concerned here with the project that this board and the county has invested a great deal of time in, and that's the Big River State Park, where we had to examine the pros and the cons of bringing Big River into the state system. And there were conditions there that made it possible and allowed us to move forward, one of which was to protect the relatively pristine character of Big River State Park. From the drawings that have been provided here, from what is here, whether it's from a roadway or not, first made the point here that eroding the structure in the middle of the woods will draw one's eyes to it, and you can see it. Now, there's another perspective on this, and that is that we should allow this alternative technology to move forward. And if it were in a different situation, I would still have different context. I would still have problems with the project because I think it's undersized. And I did not find that, I did not get what I would consider to be fairly routine, good answers to those questions. And it's not as if this is coming to us for the first time. It's going to the planning commission, it's been approved by them, and then brought forward here to get another hearing. I would have made a better case. I would have attempted to make a better case. But when I don't know the technical aspects of the project being proposed, to approve it at this time would be irresponsible, in my opinion, because we then may find ourselves coming back with adjustments and changes and being asked, well, we've gotten this far. But when I look at the pictures here in color, with the red circles, that's a pretty substantial impact on Big River State Park with the storyful placement. And so from a number of angles here, it affects that. But the bottom line on this is we're not talking about somebody who needs water, and this is the only way he or she can get water. We're not talking about somebody who needs to generate alternative energy. There's only one way he or she can get alternative energy. And what I listened very carefully to Mr. Wood's answer to why he's going in this particular direction. And it's that he has a preference for having 100% reliability. And he has a preference for having systems that will augment each other, trade-offs. Okay? And I think anybody who's lived or worked with alternative technologies knows that there are trade-offs all the time. And if somebody who I'm impressed by his statement, I'm impressed by the work that he's done and so forth, the one thing that's missing, in my opinion, is the sensitivity to to what alternative technology is all about. And that's making trade-offs that are sometimes difficult. In this particular case, as much admiration as I have for his efforts and so forth, it is my feeling here that solar panels, I would have liked to see the layout, the numbers provided, showing me how many additional solar panels on the ground, on his property, out of the view shed, out of the Big River view shed, and which will not disturb the neighbors. If he could show me that it was 10%, 40%, or 100% more expensive, I might still say, it's not a good project. But it's not a good project for this location. It's not a good technology. Again, I'm echoing some of the stuff that Mr. Orth has made, comments he has made. And I think in this particular case, solar panels, even on the cloudy coast, that's one reason I don't live there, but even solar panels work on the coast. There are a lot of people who invested and are running full scale, fairly reliable. And one thing that's always possible is, the answer to this is feed it back to PG&E and then pay for your electricity when you come back. You're not off the grid, if I understand. That's right. Is that right? You're not off the grid, because that you wouldn't even have that option if you look where the Colfax family was stupid enough to do 35 years ago, where you don't have that option to feed it back, so we have a big battery bank. But you can always buy another set of batteries and have a battery bank. It'll get you through those days when you've got to power your converted Prius. So as much as I admire your efforts and so forth, I think you're asking for too many problems that will come back to bite you, and by extension, to bite the district supervisor. So I suggest here that the supervisor, in this particular instance, accept the appeal, and I make a motion to that effect.
Okay, so there is a motion to accept the appeal and overturn the decision. Do I hear a second?
Second for discussion.
Okay, there is a second to the motion, and to Supervisor Smith.
Trying to find exactly what the motion is that Supervisor Colfax is making with regard to this appeal, but the specifics that be included in that. The concerns that I have are a number of them. I think that the applicant has done a very good job on a number of levels and a number of investigations to address the issues, and I'm impressed with that. And also the enthusiasm and the dedication that the applicant has to creating renewable energy sources. One concern I have is I think it's not quite clear, it was almost an addendum to the application, or to the presentation anyway, about the community benefit. And I think the appellant addressed that, and I don't think that component is clear. So I'm looking a little bit to the history that we have with cell towers, which there's a little bit more of, and it is very fragmented and difficult to go down that pathway. But looking to that for some parallels perhaps, and those clearly, though, when installed, are not just for the benefit